no amount of material adjustments will bring about the quest of the soul, the need of the soul. It will go on. The only adjustment which is really required in our lives and the world itself is change of our perception, change of our consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the only lacking feature in the world. Krishna consciousness is not some sectarian idea, it's the eternal nature of every living being. Constitution. At the present situation, we're all at different levels of evolvement, different levels of consciousness, generally very covered. Judging the world through our covered consciousness, perceiving, so-called perceiving, others, whatever concepts we have developed in our hearts due to our sojourn in this material world, we tend to say, maybe sometimes even try to impose upon others. We see the world in relationship to those concepts, be they spiritual or material, judging others. And according to the reciprocation of others, we experience various emotional effects. Or in relationship to the energy of Krishna, the energy of God, we experience various happiness and distress, fears, and elation and so on, anger, different emotional responses which we experience. The soul witnessing these various effects of the combinations of the material energy on our conditioned nature. In this way the living entity continues in this world of birth and death, samsara cycle. The only means to gain release from this cycle is by the divine mercy of the Lord, which usually comes in the form of his dear devotees, who, we see in our Christian, many of us have had some kind of Christian upbringing. Those who were born in this body, at least into this Western hemisphere, usually have had some exposure to Christian teachings. We always understood, we heard how Jesus himself was always making it clear he's in this world, but he's not of this world. Our business is not. Let's say, you could say our business is in this world, but it's not really in this world. We have our duties in this world, our responsibilities, various engagements and attachments, of course. The real business of the conscious soul is to utilize this human life to become free of this coverings, free of this illusion, and understand the nature of the pure self, constitutionally pure self, which is the raised through pi Nityara Krishna Das. Serve Krishna is not some, it may begin with the mechanics of regulation, rules and regulations, scriptural injunctions, mixture also in our understanding. On a pure level, of course, it's a spontaneous, natural flow of the soul's nature in terms of expressing our loving relationship with Supreme Person, Krishna. Krishna consciousness. So human life is very valuable. Om Om Krishna prasthaya bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura-Bhakta-Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. We're very fortunate today to have to me, it's a privilege, undeserving, by the divine mercy of the Lord, particularly Lord Chaitanya, the form of Krishna Mahaprabhu, the opportunity, golden opportunity, to be a small part in his missionary activities. In regards to relationship to this world, purpose of the Lord coming here, you can see other reasons, but in terms of this world, to awaken our Krishna consciousness. And we had this divine privilege today to, as every day we have the opportunity. Yesterday we were in Folkestone. Very special. Everywhere special. Special place where there are a lot of people who've been exposed to Krishna consciousness. And many young people, old people who had experience of some kind of spiritual practices. And very wonderful reciprocation with the public. Both chanting the holy names with the public, dancing, and many were taking books, voluntarily giving donations even without asking. And it's really a great privilege to see the mercy and how people are happy to see and to hear the chanting of the holy name, even by lowly persons as myself, some another, being engaged as a little instrument to participate in this most merciful welfare activity. To change the consciousness today, we also had a wonderful experience also. I think you did, I don't know what you thought, you were there, we went to Ashford. You've heard of Ashford in Kent? Yeah. Somebody told me it's Hashford, but I didn't see that. Somebody called it Trashford. But I didn't see that. I saw amazing. Amazing. I mean, just getting ready, and only one young man on his bike said, Hare Krishna! I stopped, I was chanting alone at that time. And he had neck beads on, little one. And he knew it. And he gave him a book, he was so happy. Sense of self-realization. Next person was talking to Tarun, a Bengali man, I think. And then the Bengali man found that this young man, English man, was had neck beads on. He embraced it. My brother! I was so happy. So on the street, these people were doing it. People were coming up, right, asking for books. It was remarkable. A small town, not that many people, but it was remarkable. Experience to see, I guess, to see this not so far away. I've had this experience this last week, 10 days. I left France about 10 days ago. Oh no, 2 weeks now, more than 2 weeks. So we've been traveling something like 10 days, isn't it true? 12 days maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 days. We were also in King's Lynn. Now, you may not have been to King's Lynn. I don't know if you've heard of King's Lynn. You've heard of it? King's Lynn?
Yes, but I haven't been there.
Not many people have.
Norfolk.
Yeah, Norfolk, near the Wash. It's one of those towns which is kind of like, not very, it's not like Brighton. I don't think so many people go there. It's like off, we call it ISKCON, I don't know if it means anything, off the beaten track. I don't know if you've heard that term. It's kind of away from everything. You can go there. What for? Nothing much. But an amazing place. Wonderful place. People were so enthusiastic. I mean, I'm speaking from my perception, others may see it differently. After 55 years of seeing and experiencing a little bit in terms of reciprocation on the streets or in homes or here or there, it was very wonderful. But I just tell one little story. I wanted to go to places I have never been, even towns. I think the first lady who came up to you or us in Tunbridge Wells said, "My God," she said, "I never ever thought that Krishna would come to Tunbridge Wells. I've never seen Krishna here before."
Oh, right.
She was a Christian lady.
I think plenty of devotees have been to Tunbridge.
Pardon?
I think plenty of devotees have been there, but
Probably.
but this lady didn't see them.
Yeah. Not enough.
Not enough. No.
So she was a Christian lady, right? And she purchased the Bhagavad Gita. Isn't that right?
Yes, Maharaj.
She was a Christian lady, seriously practicing to her best realization, Christianity. But we'll go back up to the northern hemisphere. No, not quite up to And after King's Lynn, we went to Downham Market. That you may never have heard. I'm 99%, I'm probably wrong, but I've never come across anyone in my life, of course I haven't been in England most of my life, well I have, but not as a devotee, so to speak. But I've never heard of anyone going near Downham Market. It's a very small town. Smaller than Lewis, is that what you call Lewis?
Lewis, yeah.
Smaller than Lewis.
Well, that's very well known.
It's a known town, but Downham Market is not a known town.
No.
Population of Lewis is what, 10,000 or something? I don't know. Small. I think so. So this place is even smaller. But because it was supposed to be market day, so we went there. It's 10 minutes from where we were staying in Kingston. We went there. Remarkable experience. What's that lady? I can't remember. She had a shop in the market. And she was overwhelmed to see us. She's been to India many times and she loves India. Norfolk girl, lady. And her little stall was full of incense. She piled me up with incense. Not piled up with incense. In her book she was overwhelmed. She was so happy. So many people were never seen us before. Old people. Then we went to another town, it was really sweet. We went to another town called Wisbech. You may have heard of Wisbech. It looks like Wisbech, but they call it Wisbech. And I never experienced anyone like that. It was quite extraordinary. I would say about 50% of the population were gypsies on the street. Gypsies means not gypsies like we normally think in maybe living in caravans and traveling, but they were Eastern European, Romanic, is it called? Romanic gypsies? Yeah. From Romania, Bulgaria, that part of the world. I know them very, very well. I spent much time over that side. And it was just no end of them in the town. The other 50%, 25% were in mobility chairs. You know these things? I've never seen so many people like that. There was a whole market. There was like a whole gathering of them in the centre of the market. Well, market wasn't market, but the market square, there was no market. Remarkable place. And, we're chanting, 2 or 3 of us, and 3 you were not. Others were with us that day. Some books were going out. Not much of it reciprocated. I met one really nice young man. But otherwise not so much. But then we went back to our car, which we parked on our car. The devotee we were staying with drove us there. And we went into to go into the car. And just as we were about to leave, a young lady came running towards us in the car park, open air car park. And said, "Oh my God, who are you? What are you doing?" Because we've been chanting, up to the car. We don't our idea is not that we're like a, 9 to 5 finish, that's it ends. Never stop chanting, huh? Always chant. We chant from the car, off the car. So we were chanting. So she was taking her lunch actually. I suppose like 2 o'clock, I think. And she was taking her lunch, and she lived across the road in an apartment there. And she was looking out the window. And she saw across the window these funny people. Didn't know who they were. And dressed like this. Some of us, not all. And she could hear some sound. And it attracted her heart. Something she had to find out. She ran across the road. And she was overwhelmed. "What are you doing?" And we talked a few words, and just like it was a bell started going off in her heart. I gave her a book. She said, "I haven't got any money, I can't give you anything." I said, "Don't worry about it, take it." And then we were delayed, I don't know what happened, but again we were delayed getting in the car. Krishna had his plans. 5 or 10 minutes later she came running down again. She gave me 2 bags of coins, plus a £5 note. This is all the money I've got in the world, please take it. Then I gave her more books. People are there. They're there. Srila Prabhupada writes, I think, I'm not sure which purport, he writes in a purport. We should know that in everywhere, every town and village, there are people who are ready for Krishna consciousness. It's like fruit on a tree. Many of you grow fruits, if you have a garden. And you have to pick them when they're ripe, isn't it? Yes, you do. If you wait too long, they go overripe. And if it's too early, they may not be very powerful. Ripe. There are people who are becoming ripe. What is Krishna consciousness? It's not, we think, oh, this is so difficult. Come on, isn't the material world difficult? What do you think? Isn't it difficult in this world?
Very
impossible.
Pardon?
Material life is impossible.
It's crazy. I mean, come on, let's look at our lives in reality, not just in this hyped up, fantasy which we tend to build up over here about everything's better. It's getting better. Don't worry, we're going to solve the problems. We've opened another 1 million hospitals with no doctors in them. It'll be perfectly all right. Well, why so many? Because people are sick. It's not a sign of, solution. It's a sign of the opposite, really. Why people are taking to drugs. I mean, many of us here have probably been through that. Drink, drugs, this, that. Try this, try that. Go here, go do this, do that. Listen to this, eat that. Move, vote for this, vote for that. Nothing works. Come on. The material is Dukkhalayam Shashvatam is meant to be difficult. In one sense, it's meant to be difficult so that otherwise we would think this is my natural situation. That dreamlike world. It is not. This is asat. This world is unnatural. It's not a natural situation. We're all looking for something full, complete. You won't find it in this world as it is. Because everything is changing. Time. When we realize one thing, if we realize time, Kalosmi Krishna said, time I am time. Every moment you can remember Krishna in that moment. Oh no, I'm getting too old. Another illusion. Maybe it's a little restrictive when our body's old and we forget things. But that's not the point. The point is whatever we've got, try to see that in relationship with Krishna. Every one of us, isn't it amazing we're sat here? Every one of us is quite different in many ways, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Quite different. Sometimes people think we're some kind of, zombies in the Hare Krishna movement. Clones or something, you can't think for yourself. I think it couldn't be further from the mark when you say that about the Hare Krishna movement practically. Everyone's such an individual. You may, against your will sometimes do things that someone wants you to do, but that's the same in the material world, more so in fact. But everyone's very much an individual. And how Krishna consciousness can bring people together despite their differences. The first lady we met in Tunbridge Wells, before that Christian lady actually, was a Muslim. Oh, yeah. And she willingly bought books. Right? Gave a donation. And she came by later. You may not have seen it, she came by later as well. Uniting us on another plane. We'll never get unity in this world. The way people are going about it. Quite the opposite. Father said, even the United Nations, more flags, more flags, more flags. The unity is spiritual. Bring us together. One, our eternal Sanatana Dharma to bring us to that point of unity. When we understand everything in relationship with Krishna. We may not understand it, but at least we try to see it. Krishna is behind everything. Now people are talking of reform, I think. Reform? Reform. Anyway, this is talk of the day maybe, or whatever it is. But what is that reform? Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, one who thinks he can reform this world is in need of reform. Nobody can change the course of this world by even the breadth of a hair. We're so ignorant. We think we're making, we're changing. We're being. This is the sign of a clone or a clown. No? Clown. Or maybe both. Someone under the control of the material energy completely, dictated by the forces of Maya. You think it's freedom, it's not freedom. You're bound up by birth, death, disease, and old age, by our conditioned concepts that drive us to think like this and that. Like he said, as everything is being orchestrated by the Supreme Person, not by us, not by this group or that group, but by the Supreme Person. Or he's reciprocating with us. You say, well, why didn't he do this and that. It's a reciprocation. Twofold. One, we do have our personal nature and our personal desires, even in this conditioned situation. We also carry our karmas. Both are collective and individual. So situations are evolving constantly changing. And because we're under the influence of time, we think time, oh my God, it seems forever. Well, it's not. It's just a flash in eternity. Just like sometimes for a moment, you may, from the child's point of view at least, you're punishing the child. Maybe you're not really, but just saying you can't have a chocolate is enough to the child to think, why not? Trauma comes on. So for a few moments, few years, whatever it is, sometimes living the jiva is going through God knows what, sufferings, so-called sufferings and so on. This is a moment in time of our eternal existence, our eternal journey. But because we're so limited in our understanding, we see it in a different perspective. So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said the only reform which is required is a reform of how we see the world. Not the world, not other people. We often think like, this thing, that thing. But how we see things. We will all have, let's say, a different perception of the world. Every one of us has a different set of senses, a different mind on which the senses report to, in which the whole thing is put into some kind of form. Perverted intellect. And we all see the same thing differently. Even the Bible, not the Bible, I think it was one Christian Sachs or something, said we both read the Bible day and night, whereas you read black and I read white. Same thing. Two different visions see the same thing. You can take this, you'll see it that way, you see it that way, you see it this way. Same thing, we're all seeing it from different angles, and we're describing it differently. Because we're all differently conditioned. It's okay, in one sense, as long as we see it in relationship to its true nature, and not just the reflective nature or the limited nature of what we perceive in this world. It's a change of our perception to see everything in relationship with Krishna. How does that evoke? By associating with those who do see things, everything in relation with Krishna. Those who have pure vision. In Sanskrit, the two words drishya and drishta. Drishya means, who knows? Drishya.
Sorry, you said
Drishya. Drishya.
I've read it recently, but I forgot.
The seer. The seer. Drashta is the seen. So unfortunately, we all think we're the drishya. We all think we're the seer. We're not. We're the drashta. But we're in this, it's like a child thinks they're in charge of everything. It's in my room. Get out of here. Trespassers will be killed. Oh, yeah. Krishna blesses. Okay, you want that? Okay. Off you go, kids. See what happens. We're on this move of seeing the world. It's if I am the seer, I am the center. It's me. The way I see it is right. You're wrong. The way you see it is wrong. Both wrong. But we fight over these things. When we see that Krishna, what does it mean? Krishna is the drishya. He's the seer. The pure devotees are also the seer because they see everything in relationship with Krishna. And they live their life in that way. And they help us to mold our lives in a way that we'll start to see things with Krishna in the center. Instead of ourselves, or this, or that, this map, that map, this thing, that thing, religions, this thing, so many different isms. But to actually see Krishna in the center. very existence. How to understand our position and what it means to be Krishna, to be the seen. That's quite interesting. Because Krishna is watching in the heart at this stage everything that we are doing. Everything. He's a witness of everything. A simple example, now some of you may not have been, but if you've been to a temple where we have deities, you know, most of you, I think, have been to a temple in Hare Krishna movement, let's say, where there is an altar and there are deities of Krishna. Is that right? You've been, huh? You've been to a temple, right?
Couple of times.
Come again. Oh, you know about it. And we say, I'm going to take darshan. If we say London, Radha London Ishwara. Jai! Radha London Ishwara ki Jai! Very nice. But in one sense, we say like that. That's understood, and it's not wrong exactly. But in one sense, Radha London Ishwara, we are the darshan seen by the Lord. He is the Drishta. You think I'm taking darshan. But the real thing is Krishna seeing us. What is in our hearts? What is our motive? What is our attitude? What is our consciousness? What do we come to offer? Or we come to give? Please give me, please give me, please. Or will we come to give? In the beginning it's usually please give me, please give me, please give me. Help, 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 Krishna, help me. Help me, I'm in trouble. I've got no money. Please. You know, I'm not going to get into all the problems because all of you are probably experiencing these things anyway. Money problems, job problems, money problems, all kinds of problems, no end of problems. The world's going crazy problems. I'm going crazy problems. No end. You know, it goes on and on. What's going on? Okay. Naturally, there's some thing is there, but ultimately the idea is to change, not to see the world like that. Who's having problems anyway? It's just some token karmic reactions or the imperfect perceptions of the situations, the attachments which we have, and Krishna's trying to free us from them, so we get frustrated when we don't get what we think we want. Because it's like a child, you know. I mean, sometimes the parents don't give the kid everything it asks for, do they? I don't know. Maybe times have changed, but they didn't used to. You know, it just spoils it. And then the parents say, no, you have to wait. Or, it's not the right thing to happen, or whatever. They may have to restrict the child sometimes. But it's welfare for its benefit. So, like that, sometimes for this devotee particularly, doesn't want us to become entangled in this world, to become dependent on this world, to become so attached to this so-called material pleasure and think God is simply an order supplier. So this transformation from seeing rather the Lord, and we want to change our. Now, if you want to, say for instance, you want to go and meet somebody, and for whatever reason you want to impress them, you generally try to behave well, isn't it? Say you're going for a job interview or something, you'll probably dress according to the expectation. Right? You're not going to necessarily go in there with your, shorts on, and a torn t-shirt with, F you or something. You're probably, a cigarette hanging out your mouth, Probably not. Walk into the interview room, put your feet up on the desk, take your shoes off, stick your foot in your mouth. What's your problem, mate? You're going to dress for the occasion, as much as you can within your means, be honest. But, get ready for the interview, you know, you want to impress the man to get the job. Probably not in Brighton, you probably don't know about these things. But I think you understand the example. Yeah, you kind of look like you're good for the job, you know. So it's not quite that. I'm just giving a mundane example, but like that, you know. And if you don't fit the role, then you don't get the job, you know. So you see what is it? It's not a job, but it's an objective, a goal. Goal for the soul. Goal for the soul can be looked at in different ways. The goal for the soul, go back to God. It's one way of explaining it. It means more than just some simple geographical maneuver. It's a very all-encompassing statement in one sense. It isn't easy just to say go back to God like that. That's another thing. It can be, but usually we have to do our part. Preparing ourselves for whatever the objective is and purifying ourselves. And even if you're going for something in this material, you generally have to hear from somebody who knows what you're supposed to do. What should I do? How should I get that? What should I say? What should I write? How should I dress? Blah, blah, go on, materially. So what to speak of spiritually. If a boy wants to get a girl or boy, whatever, they dress in a way to try to think, oh, that will please the boy, that will attract his nose and his senses and so on. Have to wear the right perfume. Right? You're from France, you know. Eau de Cologne, is it Eau de Cologne? Yeah. I don't know what it is, but anyway, some odor. Or some flowers, you know, there are the flowers, the girl likes roses. I'll get her roses, she'll love me. She likes blue, I better wear blue. Oh, I think he likes chocolate. I'll buy him some chocolate. Yes. We're trying to find out what the other one likes. Simple personal thing. This is not just a material. It is spiritual. Not necessarily spiritual, but under the origin of it is spiritual. It's the same thing in relationship with Krishna. It's simple. It's a personal thing. It's reciprocal. Find out what Krishna likes. How do you find out what someone likes? Ask who? Pardon? Somebody who knows them. Somebody who's close to them. Depending on what aspect you want to know about them. But you ask somebody, you know, who knows them. If you want to know about God, there's no way we can speculate. Many people think, I am knowing, we meet this all the time on the street. Please forgive me, those of Indian origin, wonderful souls. But so many times on the street we meet members of the Indian community. I am knowing these things. I am knowing Krishna. I am knowing all this. I can tell you all these things. Oh, sorry about that. But whatever it is, what do we know? We're still attached in this material world, sat there, you know, watching the cricket, you know, drinking, God knows what, talking about politics. Our attachments. Indicative of where our hearts are. We associate with those who truly know. What will they be doing? What's the nature of those who know Krishna? What do? They sit around watching TV all day long and go to the rock concert or something. What do? Come to Brighton, you know, have a day in Brighton. What do?
Talk about Krishna.
Talk about Krishna. They talk about Krishna and amongst themselves, but they also when we hear, you can only read. I mean, different devotees will obviously get different experiences. But when we hear about Krishna, it is like another world. Suddenly you're transported like into another world. The material world is no longer a pain in the neck. Even if there are so many traumas and traumatic things going on, can't stop it. Rise above it, or yeah, you could say rise above it. It's like if you rise above a huge cyclonic storm, affected. It takes us above to hear the pure message of Godhead, the pure message of spiritual subject matter. No matter what condition we're in, old, young, black, white, even if we're sick and at dying stages. Quite a few people this afternoon, Rupa Nagara, in their last stages of life, were getting mercy. Fortunately, we had some cookies with us, and we were able to give cookies. I wish we had 5,000 cookies in Tunbridge Wells. If we had enough hands, we could probably distribute them. They were unending children. I've never seen so many school children in my life as there were in Tunbridge Wells today. Never. The whole town centre, we could hardly see the road sometimes. The school kids would pack around. And most of them were kind of friendly and pale. We had nothing much to give them. But it was such a wonderful opportunity. But anyway, whatever it is, a little bit, even if they touch the book, probably they get it back. Beginning. Or to speak if they take some prasad. We tried to distribute as much as prasad we did it all, but it's such a wonderful opportunity in this human form of life. Kamasya Indriyapatya Bhavati Vidya Jivasya Tattva Jignasmatya Karma. Human life is not meant for sense gratification. Even the animals are doing that. What's the big deal? We have clothes on. Okay, so what? When you want to enjoy it, you keep your clothes on. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean. You're all very innocent down here. Prabhupada himself said that. Not me, I'm just repeating his word. When a man and woman really want to enjoy, do they keep their clothes on? No. Sounds a bit gross, I know, but the Prabhupada said it. I mean, it's a fact. Animal propensities. That's where we really get our pleasure from, isn't it? Animal propensities in this world. Eating. Look how much energy goes into eating, isn't it? Restaurants, food, all right. This is like the big thing in life, isn't it? Food. What do you think? Taste. Finger licking good. Still around, I'm a bit old-fashioned. Fish and chips. Still have fish and chips. That was our like Sunday feast when I was a kid. Doesn't sound very much. It's crazy. In India, food is just amazing, isn't it? You go to any of you from Gujarat? Any Gujarati? Bengal, any from Bengal, Gujarat? Any Gujaratis? Bengalis? Punjabis? Telugus? Tamils? Doesn't matter where you're from. People want to feed you. It's like the big thing, isn't it? They're not worried about the kata or anything else. The food, the prasada. Feed, eat. Come on, more. Do you like it? You want more? You go to your day, it's very dangerous. You say, that cure is really nice. And before you finish the words, it's like another cord on top of your hands if you've got your hands out. You said you liked it, so there's more. You can't say you don't like it, and you've got to be really careful what you say. Food. What else do people like? Say no more about sex life. Different personalities will have different approaches. general principle of sex is not, by the way, it's not just the act of sex, the extended aspect of family life. And just basically it's seeing oneself in the centre of the enjoyer, basically. Whether you're an animal or human, they're all seen the same. Animal has sex, human has sex, animal eats, human eats. Animal sleeps. I mean, I've met people, I've asked, what is your most happy thing in life? And they say sleep. It doesn't speak much for the time when they're waking, does it? If the happiest moment of their life is to sleep, I can't imagine what their waking condition is like. And that's not a rare thing, by the way. I mean, probably many of us here really look forward to going to sleep, don't we? You bring on me. A great time. Some of you have a horrible dream, and oh my God. What's the other one? Eating, sleeping.
Fighting.
Mating. No. Defending. Defending is a big subject. It's not just like, there's a bit more to it than that. Protecting our concepts, their interests. Animals do it, humans do it. But humans are a little bit more, you could say. Animals usually just go for the direct opposition. Humans they just go berserk sometimes, destroy everyone and everything. So basically it's animal propensities that are driving society, even in relation with God. Give us my daily bread, help me with this, help me with that, I'm not having problems in my house, blah blah, so many things. That's not what human life's for. And that's not what the saintly persons come to give. That the blessing is already there by karmic arrangement. God's providing for the dogs, He's providing for the demons, He's providing for the pious, He's providing for everyone. That's not what His business is, that's not what our business is, and it's not what the pure devoted business is. But to actually awaken us or enlighten us as to our true nature. And when we hear about the material energy all the time, we become... There's two sides to that. The great devotees speak two things. One, you could say, to understand the fallacy of material endeavour, and the other is what we should really be doing. So they give us what we really should be doing as well, not just condemnation or negativity. But we've got to have both, actually, conditioned state. Give us the positivity too, especially kirtan, chanting the holy name, Hari Katha, Krishna Katha, hearing the truth, both the philosophical level at our stage, seeing Krishna in the centre, of seeing how to engage our senses, how to engage the energy around us in Krishna's, for Krishna's pleasure. They teach us how to do that, so that gradually it becomes consciously purified. And gradually then a taste for hearing and chanting will naturally develop. As long as our, it's like an example is given by one of our great acharyas, Rupa Goswami, how it's like a jaundice. Have any of you had jaundice? Hepatitis? Anyone had that? Maybe you don't need to be embarrassed. I've had it. Anyone else?
Yeah, I've had it.
You've had it. It's quite common, and I don't know if it's still common, but it's quite common worldwide. There are different types, of course. Some of it is just, whatever it may not be due to some external substance exactly. It's a state of weakness of the liver or the pancreas or something. That makes some organ. They've got spleens. And it changes. It's amazing, isn't it? Experience. It changes. Normally if you take a gulab jamun, do you know what a gulab jamun is? Some of you don't. It's extremely sweet, put it like that. It's very, very sweet, isn't it? Ladies, Indian ladies? Do you make gulabs? I'm looking, I don't even know if you're in, I can't see if you're Indian, Western, I don't know what you are. Everyone looks the same to me right now.
Equal vision.
Huh?
Is that the humble sage?
The humble sage, yes, sees with equal vision.
Seeing
Vidya Vinaya
everybody the
Santane,
same.
Brahmani Gavi Hasni.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, you got it right on. But that's not by taking my glasses off. Humble sage. Not as easy as that. Not as easy as that. What's in there that counts not? Anyway, if there are any Indian ladies, if they're still hanging in there, tolerating your nonsense, you probably make gulab jamuns or something like that, isn't it? Rasgullas or something. Do you do? You know? Huh? Yeah, sandesh, rasgulla. Very sweet, nice sweets, beautiful sweets, huh? But if you've got hepatitis C or jaundice, what does it taste like?
Bitter.
Pardon?
Bitter?
It's horrible. Bitter, I guess you could say bitter. I mean, just look. It's like, you know, everything tastes, it's not just that. Everything tastes nasty. Sweets taste nasty. The whole capacity to take the taste buds, whatever it is, are completely, you know, diseased. They can't taste anything nice at all. You have no interest in eating. It's like, you know, a lot of our interest in eating is because of this one, the taste, right? Tastes good. You won't eat otherwise. Children they won't eat unless it tastes nice. We're like that too, but like, you're maybe a health freaks or whatever. You may eat things like that. We used to take macrobiotic rice. You ever heard of that? Macrobiotic rice.
Yeah.
This idea is going to make you Buddha or something. You may have other motives, but generally it's the taste. When you're hepatitis, you can't, it's horrible. It tastes horrible. It changes. All taste changes. So you can't taste nicely. And it said the same thing as there. When it comes to Krishna Katha or chanting the holy names, as long as our senses are infatuated with the material world and try to enjoy it, and so on. In other words, we're in a conditioned state, disease state actually, dis-ease, then we can't taste it. When we're in association with great souls, sometimes you do get a little taste. Or, as Diva Goswami, one of our great transcendents, when Kirtan is going on, that's what we were trying to do just now, wasn't it? Kirtan. And maybe in a few minutes, if we've got any time left, I don't know. Kirtan, even in all forms of devotional service are good, but usually there's a lot of question marks there, and anarthas and so on things. Anartha means material desires, and misconceptions come in, so many things. Interfere with the actual association or the actual relish of that service. But when we come together in Kirtan, he says they're not taken into account. Anyone, even a drunkard, can experience, at least momentarily, a taste for the bliss, a taste for the nectar in that association. The same thing when Katha is going on, when the pure devotee to Lord. If it Tashi Bhagyamanat Bhavushiti Totramano Vimanat. When we hear this subject matter from those who are Nivrittitush, those who have no material conditioning, no material attachments, their attachments are for Krishna only. Krishna service. Krishna. When we hear from them, Bhavushiti Totramano Vimanat. Bhavushiti. Medicine, that's the medicine to cure the Bhava road, the ocean of birth and death. Cure us from this ignorance which we're in, is to hear Kuttamashtaka, to hear the message, pure sound, whether holy name or Krishna Katha, on the other side, from the right source, from the pure source. Then it enters our heart. Even we may not have any knowledge or understanding or even interest, but when we come into the association, when I was one time I was in Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram Mandir, we have Hare Krishna temple. Some of you have been there. Who's been to the Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan? Many of you. So going back 20 years now, there was one devotee named Indra Prabhu. Many of you have heard of it, if you don't met him, but he left over 15 years ago, but he was absolutely absorbed day and night in the holy name, Krishna, and other services, but especially in chanting the holy names. And his kirtans were they just take you to another realm of consciousness. I was watching they just came back, we were doing some program, we just came back from this program. I entered the temple, I saw there were a lot of German tourists there. They were on a mystery tour, and they stopped in front of the Krishna Bharam temple, and some of them came in, some of them didn't. So they were businessmen from Germany, all men, all businessmen, well-to-do businessmen. And some of them were stood there as I came in, I saw them watching, the temple was packed. They were at the back watching, hearing the kirtan, hearing. They'd never, nothing to do with Hare Krishna, absolutely no interest. But they were just listening to the kirtan. And I spoke to them, they were educated men, I spoke English, and spoke to two of them actually. And I said, what do you think of this? One of them looked at me and said, I have listened to many church recitals, many orchestras. I've been all over the world, and I really like to hear, different music. And I'm a religious person. I like, all the choral in the church, and so on and so forth. I've never heard anything like this in my life. I don't know what's happening. It's just gone right into my heart. He said, "There's never been anything to do with Krishna consciousness. The holy name is so all-pervasive, all-powerful. Of course, many people are running away and trying to avoid, but it's so powerful. And it purifies our consciousness. This is the Oshudi, the medicine to cure our thinking, the weird Krishna. Purify our perception. Bhaktisiddhanta said the only reform which is necessary is a reform of how we perceive things. And that, he says, can be evoked by exposing ourselves to the pure sound vibration of the holy name. So when that's there, we all experience different effects of sound, of people we associate with, but this is the real transformation when we get an opportunity to hear chanting, associate, even now amongst ourselves. If we together hear and try to hear the sound vibration, try to hear it, don't just sing it, oh this is nice, oh like the harmonium. Have you played the harmonium? I can do that. Oh yeah, I can imitate that. The microphone, give me the microphone quick. Where's my jump? Boom, 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 boom. No, but try to hear the sound. It's the sound of the holy name. Try to hear. Expose yourself. Dosha Nideva Astiyekaman Kirtanadeva. There is one great quality, Kirtanadeva Krishna sage, chanting the holy name. It's the ocean of all for their dosha. So many problems, so many challenges, stress, anxiety, fear, whatever, disease, old age, death. Things are all external to the soul. But because we identify ourselves with this body under the influence of time, thinking ourselves in the sense of the word, we have to go through these experiences until we wake up. How do you get woken up? You're woken up by some sound vibration. Ding, 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 ding. So this sound vibration can at least begin to wake us up. You may not wake up all of a sudden. At least the beginning, starting to wake up. It takes time to wake up. Jeev Jago. It's a morning show, but never mind. I think this is probably your morning anyway. It was when I was like a teenager. I mean, this was like morning time for me. We get up at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago, Guru Chanda Bole, Kuta Nidra Jayo, Pisha Chira Kole. The famous line of the Jampur. Ene Chego Shari Maya, Na Shivanula. Harinama Maha Mantra Lord Chaitanya has brought the medicine, Oshadi, Harinama Mahamantra, to cure us of this disease. Just take the holy name. There's nothing but the holy name. In all the 14 worlds, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, it is satisfied, fulfilled the heart of Bhaktivinoda, just to hear and chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll start with the animal stories now. I think we just told a few animal stories. That was more than that. What do you want me to do? Okay, well, who is that, Mummy?
It's Mahini.
It is Mummy.
Yeah, is it okay to ask a question?
Pardon?
May I ask a question?
No.
It's,
We'll find out in a minute. Steve.
I was thinking of, well, it was sort of loosely related to what you were saying in terms of reading and, the wonderful Benedict at the other.
In terms of
Reading, and when
reading,
when we're reading, being taken above the storm, and we experience a different world by reading. But it was in relation to something that I read just the other day. So at the moment, I've been reading Gopal Champu of Jiva Goswami as a different take on the 10th canto. And I read something the other day that I didn't remember reading in the part of the time, but it may be there. But it's when Krishna and Balaram go to school, and they go to learn the 64 arts from Sandipani Muni. And before they find their teacher, Krishna says to Balaram the kind of teacher that they need. And Krishna says, and this is the thing I didn't remember hearing before, is he says that we must have a teacher who worships Lord Shiva, and who is a devotee of Lord Shiva. And I wondered, that's interesting. I thought, I wonder why. I wonder what's the reason behind that. Is it okay to ask her?
bit late now. I should have asked it before you asked it. I'll ask, what's it called? CP Chat, is that what it's called? Oh, Google Guru, I don't know who's the latest guru. Who's the new Acharya right now? Who's the social media Acharya? You'll find unending, there of course is an answer to everything. You'll find unending, exciting points like that when you read deeper and deeper and deeper. Or you hear deeper. Of course, when you read a person, you realize they can, if necessary. And sometimes they won't either, because it's not relevant to us at that particular stage of their devotion. If it may excite us to want to know, which is good, it'll take us away from perhaps wanting to know who won the World Cup or something. So it's a better inquiry, it's like improving our kind of quest for knowledge, and so on and so forth. But why? Well, I mean, am I supposed to, without, maybe somebody has read on that subject matter. I haven't seen a comment on the Gopal. I've read Gopal Champu, I haven't read a comment on the Gopal Champu, or heard somebody comment on that particular point. So I speculate or just postulate from other situations or whatever. One thing, what we could say, of course, about Shiva, Lord Krishna always likes to glorify his devotees. That much we know.
Vaishnavanam yatha sambhu.
Exactly. This is the highest form of worship. So, as we like to put other devotees, we like to serve other devotees. We may not be on that level of consciousness that we can see the reality of the situation, and we may compete with each other, try to put myself up. But Krishna doesn't do that. He likes to put the devotees up. Pure devotees always like so. Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. And there are different levels a relationship, but in this particular case, yes, he's the greatest Vaishnava, he's Dikpal, you can't enter into the Dham without, he's the protector of the Dham, he's not orderly, he is what he is, and go on and on, different devotees will share different, what they've heard and what they've realized about Lord Shiva's unending, great personality. But it's nice to find, but you will find, no end. I mean, this is the one of the wonders of let's say, we'll just put it into one word, two words, Vaishnava literature. I mean, it's a bit of a vague statement, but it's unlimited, absolutely unlimited. It's not just one book, bas, nothing else exists beyond that. Anything written beyond that is bogus, it's the work of the devil or something. It's not like that. Not like that. It's ever expanding. And nobody, even our Parama Guti Lord Brahma, and we even read in Bhagavatam, maybe Vyasadeva understands the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva. It's like, it's unlimited. Krishna, helping you understand Krishna's mind while he's saying that to Balaram, etc. Understand the mind of Krishna. You know one thing, that is perhaps something we need to learn. False ego, Lord Shiva does. One of his facets is he is basically representing the false ego, amongst other things. We certainly have to overcome the false ego. And we need his help. We sometimes think, well, we don't worship Shiva, we worship Panchatattva. There's a picture maybe of Panchatattva, the mantra is there, maybe the picture is there. Well, Shiva appeared very mercifully. Here we have in the door picture, I'm sure on the left-hand side is Advaita Acharya. I mean, he's so Lord Shiva also. We have to, it's not that we're on. If we have to have false ego, we have to stay in a false world. So a guru has to, in a sense, Lord Shiva, what we've been trying to understand a little bit, in one sense is related to this, because there's a false ego. He's got this false ego. False ego is basically seeing ourselves as the drishya. So you need a guru who will remove that false perception of seeing ourselves in the center. That's just a kind of a generalized idea. I'm not pulling Shastra there. Sorry, it would be wonderful if only Krishna. I mean, even Krishna is ever expanding, and his knowledge is ever expanding. We'll speak of little tiny jivas like us who just get a little glimpse of whatever little realization Krishna gives us, and whatever we hear from real devotees. Some of it may be understood, and we may sometimes present it in a way which is proper according to time, place, and circumstance. Oftentimes we may say what is correct, but we don't say it in the right place, or the right time, or the right circumstance, and it has the wrong response, wrong result. So real knowledge is not knowing something, it's knowing where it is relevant, how to apply. The business of the Guru, certainly the business of Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Very quick question, Maharaj. You've been so many places in the world. Is there any one particular place that you would say is your favourite place, and what was it about that place?
Ashford.
Yeah.
Ashford! Haribol! I was almost feeling like that when I was there. It was like a dream. At one point I didn't know what was going on. It was crazy. It was crazy. I mean,
Maharaj, I just want to make an observation, and when you were telling us about your journeys here recently to Ashford and other places, and how wherever you went, everybody was enthusiastic.
I wouldn't.
And
It seemed like that.
But that's because of I'm thinking it, you mustn't deny it, but it's because of your angle of vision and your purity is like for example, if the pure devotee is leading the kirtan, is the best thing, right? So, you know, I know everything is due to your Guru Maharaj and Krishna, but I think because of your purity, you are affecting people like that. Because not everybody that goes out to do kirtan or distribute books gets the same reaction. So
Maybe
you're
it's the way I see it. Maybe
anyway,
it's the way
I
I
think
see it.
people are responding to you.
He was leading kirtan as well. He has a very loud voice. Very wonderful.
Yes, I know. And these devotees also.
Every devotee. It's
Every
amazing.
devotee.
Every
But
devotee.
I'm just saying, it's not those people, although they're inquisitive, I think you inspired them. That's what I think.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions? Please. I will say no more about Ashford. I'll think of somewhere else quickly. Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. Jagannath Puri. Actually, something about Jagannath Puri. Now, at different stages of their growth in life, now even materially, when you're a kid, what's your favourite place? Kid, young boy, 7 years old. They were very, but generally speaking, what do young 7-year-old kids really like to be?
Beach.
They may like the beach. Okay, the beach is definitely an attraction. The water, isn't it? They go to the water, and that may stay, but you may have other places which are more attractive. Maybe the pub becomes more attractive, or the sports field becomes more attractive, or maybe some romantic situation. It changes as you grow. Some things are still there, they're still attractive. Other things become more attractive. And it's the same thing with our, we have obviously our direct Siksha Gurus, our Diksha Gurus maybe in our lives. They may, of course, they're here and they manifest at certain points of time, physically speaking. And we may have our kind of like idols. Kids have their idols. When I joined Raghunath Das Goswami was my idol. Then Haridas Thakur became my, there's nothing wrong with that. But they may change as you mature, or we mature. You'll find that it's natural for various reasons. It's only natural. So even places where different moods are to be found, etc., they become more attractive to us at certain points of time in our life. And if you ask that question next year, who asked that question? Okay. It might be a different answer.
Brighton.
It might even be Brighton. It might be Brighton. If you put Sandy Beach in Brighton, it might become Brighton. I don't like pebble beaches. Never did. But otherwise, Brighton's great. Don't get me wrong. It is sand. If you go out far enough, you'll find sand under the water. Go and swimming. Every Rath Yatra I jump into the water. I didn't last year. I think it was too cold, wet and windy. But normally every year I jump into the ocean after the Rath Yatra. I feel like Jagannath Puri! Going on the front of the Brighton promenade, or whatever you call it. And the ocean is there. It's just like, I can feel it. Rather exactly go to the ocean, it goes to Vrindavan. It's like you get that feeling. Now I'm going to answer that in a slightly different purpose. The most favourite place to me is Rath Yatra. Wherever it is, it's Rath Yatra. We were in Rath Yatra recently, in London, wasn't it? Yes. That was the most recent. Rath Yatra to me, level I'm on very nearby. But it is the most, it's no matter what level you're on in Krishna consciousness, Rath Yatra has everything. Everything.
Will you be coming to the Brighton Rath Yatra?
Too early to say. I'm working like 1 month maximum in advance. I have to take it a month at a time.
Maharaj, I have one small question. Actually, thanks all the way to coming to Brighton.
Pardon?
Thanks all the way to coming to Brighton. Actually, I saw you in the London Rath Yatra.
Did you?
Yeah. And I have one question. Actually, you are telling about the I think we all have the same hands, same body, same brains, but one thing we might lack is intelligence. Hope you will bless all of us with good intelligence so that we are more connected with Krishna and Krishna stories. So you bless us. Because in this age, I think if you see the people in the who are born in the warm place, they might be fighting, and in the cold place, it's like Hiranyakashipu want to be treated as a god by the Prahlad like that.
That's what we have
I think like that, and I just what was my query is like I usually don't speak any lie. I don't speak any lie, or usually it will, even if I speak anyway it will be connected to the truth. I just wanted to know like if someone does screw or nothing or did some bad karma, whether Gurudev will be blessed to reduce the karma.
Does good bad karma.
I mean, does I heard like someone does bad karma means even the soul at the end of the life, even the soul does not leave the body until the body struggles. That one I heard that one. I just wanted to know like whether Gurudev mercy, whether the bad karma done by any devotees will be erased, will be reduced.
Will it?
Just wanted to know that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
First of all, good intelligence is Krishna Bhavan.
Yes, hope you will bless with good intelligence with all of us.
Intelligent people. It's nothing to do with material intelligence necessarily. Intelligent people will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associates and his weapons by the performance of Sankirtan Yoga.
Yeah.
And by the performance of the holy name, Iti Shodashakam Nanam Kalikama Shanasham, it eradicates all the ill effects of this Kali Yuga. Now, of course, at different stages or different levels of eradication take place. Sinful reactions, which we're presently suffering from, are easily eradicated. The removal of the tendencies, or what's called aparuptas, those which have not yet manifested, they're in seedling forms, tendencies, they take a little bit more purification. But reactions like, you've done many, where would we be if we had to? Krishna, I'll give you another example. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that unless one has, what's that verse? Come on, you young guys with good manners. Unless you're completely free from all sinful reactions, actually piety in this life as well as the past life, you cannot engage in devotional service with determination. So one devotee asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, my life is so sinful, I'm not pious even now, I'm a nasty person basically. How is it, engaged in some way or another in chanting and serving and what have you. Prabhupada said, I've created your piety. It's the mercy of the pure devotee that he takes it on. And when we chant and follow his instructions, following the instructions of Guru Shastra Sadhu, Krishna Dev doesn't allow these normal karmic situations. He removes the blockage. Otherwise it will block us in our lives. So as long as we follow Guru Shastra Sadhu, not just our own speculation. And then the blockages can be at least removed. We may still have tendencies, and by continually following the path of devotional service under the guidance of Guru Shastra Sadhu, even tendencies and unknown bejas, seeds of future sinful activity can also be burned to the root. Completely burned out. Completely burned out. So the process, I didn't quite finish it actually, the jaundice example is related to this. The cure for jaundice, there are many cures, but one cure is said to be sugar, what do you call it, this sugar cane, or this like jaggery or something like that. And that helps the recovery from jaundice. And similarly, Transcendental, Rupa Goswami said that if we constantly chant or regularly chant, carefully chant the holy name, it will burn out the root, not just the surface, that you mow a lawn, the grass is gone, but within a week it's up again, because the root's still there. But no, the process of carefully chanting and hearing the holy name to the root can remove, right down to the root can remove remove the very cause of the problem, your tendency to commit sinful act, or your tendency to become entangled in this world. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Finish there. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. All glory to all of your kind association and sincerity. Everyone in this room is very special, and we're different, but at the same time, every one of us is the eternal servant of Krishna, and everyone has this opportunity to reestablish